Let me talk to you.
Welcome back here to Kentucky Neck Beard here. It's time. We're one day away from the Governor's Cup between Louisville and Kentucky, which that game kicks off around noon. It's a noon set time. They usually, they don't usually kick off until, a little five minutes or so afterwards. But Louisville, last I saw, is back down to a 7.5 point favorite. They were up to 8, as high as 8, as high as I've seen it. I do see it on DraftKings. So that's where I'm getting my information from. DraftKings Sportsbook there. Once again, still fucking driving. I'll be watching the game from none other than Connecticut tomorrow. But the only way to look at this game is Louisville has a very good defense. A stout defensive line. And one of the things, if you kind of look at Kentucky this year, was one of their weaknesses. The O-line is better than last year, but it's not great. They still have their problems. We got a young Jagger Burton playing, and this is the second year in a row where he's not really lived up to the hype. And he's from right there in Lexington, Kentucky, or in the Lexington area, anyways. We got Dylan Ray playing. Both of those guys are really young. We have Marcus Cox, Eli Cox, and Jerry Flax, who play a lot of downs a lot of snaps for us. They're all three of those are, they're experienced. They're upperclassmen. One of them, and Marcus Cox, is a transfer. He transferred in from Northern Illinois. And he's been everything we wanted. Eli Cox, he was our center last year. We moved him back to guard, and Jagger Burton started the year at center. We didn't really like how that was going, so we moved Jagger Burton back to guard, Eli Cox back to center, and it's got a little better. Devin Leary sometimes has time to throw. He doesn't have a whole lot of time to throw. Which you're just not going to have at the SEC, playing SEC defenses. And the running lanes, they're just not there. And like I said yesterday, Kentucky can't run the ball, and I'm like, dead set on it. It's because Kentucky doesn't have a true passing threat. All we do is dump offs, screen passes and slants, and we only try to go like 10 yards. It's nothing for these defenses to just stack 11 players pretty much in the damn box. And they play to either stop the run or stop the short pass game. Because, like I said, we've only hit one deep pass all year on first down. One. And I still haven't looked up that stat. But, I'm busy. And I'm trying to get up to Connecticut so I can watch the game tomorrow. Get my break in, get my hours reset, and get up there. So I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands. Which is why I do this while I'm driving right now. But back to the running game is not going to be what Mark Stoops wants. He's trying to force a running game, a short passing game, and it's not working. We've hit some 20, 30-yard passes this year, but not like we need to. Mark Stoops is so worried about keeping the defense rested and then not, having quick series on offense, that we are having quick series on offense. We're going 3 and out most of the time on offense. I think Kentucky's right there with Iowa with scoring the least amount of points on the season per game. I mean, Iowa just won another game today. They had to kick a game-winning field goal to win 13-10. Which your boy here hit the under. 26 points is what he had. I hit that under. On to Louisville here, their defense is what keeps them in ball games. I think Kentucky has a big opportunity here to, number one, get that running game going again like we did against Florida. I'm not going to say you're going to have to throw the ball, though. You're going to have to throw the ball to open up the run game. You're not just going to be able to go up there and this isn't like years past where, the SEC offensive line that Kentucky has, it may be bottom tier, but it's still SEC offensive line. Just dominates this defensive line. This is Jeff Brum in his first year. Louisville is coming in this game 10-1. They're hoping to go 11-1 and keep playoff hopes alive. With a game, they're looking next weekend and playing Florida State for an ACC championship. But at the same time, Louisville, I really feel Louisville is focused to beat Kentucky. I'm pretty sure Kentucky's won the last 5 years, last 5 meetings, and it's been in blowout fashion. I've been at the last 5 games. I mean, really, I've been at about the last 7, maybe going back a little further, maybe 8. But since Lamar Jackson left Louisville, I mean, kind of left the state of Kentucky, but left Louisville. Louisville has not done nothing. Hasn't even kept it close with Kentucky. And I mean, last stat I remember hearing was like last year, where Kentucky came into last year's game and they won the last 4 meetings. It was something like 156-17. It was something like that. And I don't think you can really go back to the past because I want to say last year was like, I think Kentucky scored 28 points and won like the game like 28-17, somewhere, maybe Louisville at 21. So it may have been like 35-21, somewhere around there. It was kind of, by the end, it was kind of well in hand. I want to say the first 3 quarters, if I remember correctly, it was a close game. And it is, I really believe, man, the upper hand goes to Kentucky still. I still believe that. Louisville's in the ACC. ACC sucks. I mean, you got Florida State and everybody else. Clemson looked better recently, but ACC ain't nothing, to go around talking, bumping your chest about. It's a weak ass football conference. It's a basketball conference. That's exactly what that is. And really, Kentucky belongs in the ACC. They're a basketball school, and that's been very well touted. I don't care what Mark Stoops says. He got to prove that we're a football school before we do anything else. But Louisville is not. I mean, Louisville sucks in basketball right now. I don't know. I ain't kept up with their actual record, but they played Texas last time I knew, kind of close. But anyways, not what I'm talking about. Louisville's in the ACC. They played nobody this year. I mean, their best game, their biggest competition this year was like a top 10 Notre Dame. That's it. I mean, but is Notre Dame really good? Because like I said yesterday, in yesterday's video, Notre Dame, I really think came into Louisville, and the problem was they overlooked Louisville looking at the USC game the following week. Louisville still got the win. But Louisville has not looked great the last 2 weeks. They barely beat Virginia. I watched that game. And I feel sorry for the Virginia running back who got hurt. And last I heard, he had successful spinal surgery the following Friday. Now, I ain't really kept up with that story. And I still don't know how that Louisville boy didn't get hit with targeting that game. I really don't. But then they follow that up and go down to Miami The Virginia game was at home. Was at Pop Spur Stadium there. I don't care what they call it. The credit union. I don't care. It was in Louisville. And Virginia came in there with it had a fourth quarter lead. Louisville jumped out to a 14-0 lead. And Virginia came back, and it seemed like it was like the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. Virginia scored 21 unanswered points and went into the fourth quarter with a 21-14 lead. Now, they lost that game, like I think it was 35-21, something like that, 38 something around there. But Virginia is one of the worst teams in the ACC. Pittsburgh, who Louisville lost to, one of the worst teams in the ACC. I mean, Louisville's, they're ranked top 10. The offense is like Kentucky's. It's inconsistent as it is. But looking at what Kentucky's done since starting the season 5-0, really going back all the way back to the 6th game of the year from Georgia on, we've had trouble stopping the run. Louisville's got a bell cow. Don't ask me his name. Like I said, I've not done no video prep. I've watched a little bit of Louisville, not a whole lot, but I've kept up with it. And Louisville's got a good running back. But if we actually play this game, stop the run, force Louisville to get into a passing, but they have to throw the ball. That favors Kentucky. Because Mr. Plummer is not, Louisville's quarterback, is not going to win the Louisville a game with his arm. Devin Leary ain't going to either. Don't get me wrong. Devin Leary ain't going to win the game. He proved that last week. But, I mean, I know Kentucky's offense is one of the worst in the country. Louisville's a little better, and they do have a deep threat. Other than this game being at Louisville, I don't see a whole lot there to say, hey, Louisville's going to beat Kentucky. I just don't. I mean, Louisville's a top 10 team. But are they really a battle-tested top 10 team? Meaning, have they played anybody? I mean, they're like Michigan. Michigan has won every game so far, but they got Ohio State tomorrow. That's their second team they played all year, if you count Penn State. Me personally, Louisville is not as good as everybody thinks they are. It's my opinion. This is my opinion. I don't think Louisville's offense is great. It's decent, but I think it's similar to Kentucky's. Where, Mark Stoops, once again, I'm going to get on this rant again. Mark Stoops wants to run the ball, play good defense, and that's how he wants to win games. It just does not work anymore doing that. And kind of where I got off from my rant yesterday was Kirby Smart. He realized he went to Georgia. He built that team. I think it was 8-4 the first year. And he built that program on running the ball, playing good defense. He built the defense up and then built the offense up. And look what Kirby Smart's doing. He's going to win his third national championship. Yes, that's right. I'm calling it right now. There is no other team who's going to beat Georgia. Georgia's winning the national championship. But that's where Mark Stoops needs to look in the mirror and see where Kentucky is right now and how outdated his philosophy is. Not even to mention his defensive scheme. But I think Kentucky can do just enough defensively to make stops against Louisville. I mean, Kentucky's defense, pretty much how we lived by all the last years, 12 years under Mark Stoops. Bend, don't break. That's just how, that's how it is. I mean, you look at talent level, Kentucky's a more talented team. That's just what it is. Kentucky's the more talented team. Deion Walker, and whatever the damn dude's name is for Louisville, he has long hair and plays defense end. He's top. He's probably. I'm going to say he's projected to be a top 10 NFL pick. Deion Walker's still 2 years away from being even draft eligible, as he's a true sophomore. But so yeah, Louisville's got a good defensive, one good defensive player, outstanding player. Kentucky's got Deion Walker too, another outstanding player, D lineman. Both of these guys are defensive linemen. Louisville's got the better corners, better DBs. I'll give you that. Kentucky's young and probably really playing some people that we really shouldn't be playing there. But it's good. It's kind of weird. Mark Stoops and the defense and Brett White, you'll see, hey, this is our best option on defense. Everybody's injured. Well, the one thing is Kentucky's injured. Yeah, one player they're missing is Jaden Govenors, and he's done for his time at Kentucky's done. He got injured, I think, at Georgia, matter of fact. No season ended early. But quarterback-wise, neither one of these quarterbacks are anything to write home to. Home about is what I meant. Running back. When me personally, I believe Ray Davis is a better running back. I feel that Ray Davis is a better running back. That's my opinion. On paper, I'm pretty sure Louisville's running backs got the more yardage. He's played against ACC defenses and a bunch of nobodies. Me personally, when I'm looking at this game, Ray Davis, check mark, in Kentucky's favor. Gives Kentucky the heads up. Devin Leary, I think Devin Leary versus it's not Jake Plummer, but somebody Plummer. I remember that much. It might even be Jake Plummer, but I feel like that's a draw. Devin Leary and Plummer is a draw. You don't know what you're going to get from them two. Neither one of them are really good. Wide receiver wise, I think Tavion Robinson, Dane Key, and Barryon Brown are the three better receivers in this game. Louisville's got one or two good players. You got one or two good wide receivers. I think that goes in Kentucky's favor. Tight ends. Louisville's got. I don't remember. I don't know their roster, but I know they got a good tight. They got two good tight ends. One of them being Joey Gatewood, an ex-quarterback at Auburn, UCF, and at Kentucky, before going to Louisville as a quarterback, and then finally, I think Jeff Brum got him to transition to tight end. Maybe even been Scott Satterfield. I'm not 100% on that part, but now he's playing tight end. Yes, Joey Gatewood's still playing football somehow, some way. I don't know. But I still think Jordan Dingle, Josh Caddis are good. So I think that could be a draw. Offensive line. Problem is, this probably goes to Louisville. Louisville's probably got the better offensive line. And so we'll give Louisville a check mark over here. Now going to defense. Overall defense, it's probably better draw. You actually probably give it to Louisville. Overall defense, you probably can give the upper hand to Louisville. But defensive line, it's kind of, I'm going to give that a draw. Deion Walker, they got one good player. I don't know anybody's name. Apologize. If you want, you can put it down in the comments. Anyways, linebackers. I think Kentucky has the linebacker edge, though. And just because watching some of these Louisville games, a linebacker, I have not seen no linebackers that just wow you. Kentucky has J.J. Weaver. I don't lost the other guy's name now. But it don't matter. I still think linebackers goes to the Kentucky side. Defensive backs. Here's the The kicker, though. I think defensive backs goes to Louisville. So, I mean, I've given them two. We've had 2 draws. Special teams. Let's go special teams. Punters. Louisville's got the better punter. Even though Wilson Berry has shown flashes for Kentucky, Louisville's got the better punter. Kicker. For what I've seen, Kentucky's got the better kicker. He's been more accurate. He's hit more. I think he's only missed 2. He hasn't missed a whole lot, put it that way. I think he's only missed 2 field goals all year. 1 being blocked. I think he's missed 1 or 2 extra points all year. I think he missed one. Actually, I think he's only missed 1 extra point all year. That was blocked. But I still feel it goes in Kentucky's favor. Now, just going by everything I see, like I just broke down this whole thing together. Defense overall, I give to Louisville. But breaking down, I give the only edge on defense I give Kentucky is linebackers. Special teams. I said Louisville's got the better punter, Kentucky's got the better kicker. Returners, I mean, you don't see a whole lot of returns anymore. It just because punters are trying to kick the ball, far and high, so the coverage team can get down there. So you see a lot of fair catches. Kickoffs, everybody's kicking off to the end zone for the most part. So I mean, there's nothing else there. I mean, really special teams probably, because considering this is probably going to be a tight game, defensive. I'm actually going to say this is going to be a defensive game. I really truly believe Kentucky's going to be up for this game because they're always up for this game. Mark Stoops really, since day one, has preached the importance of this Kentucky versus Louisville game. So I have and they seem to be up every year against Louisville. So I think Kentucky's going to be up. But I think the edge goes to Kentucky. A lot of it, mainly because of the conferences. Kentucky's played Alabama, top 10 team. Georgia, a top 10 team. Tennessee was a top 15 team. South Carolina, not good at all. That's a bad, terrible loss. That kind of goes with the Pittsburgh loss over there on the Louisville side. Missouri, top 10 team now. They were top 15 when we played them. Or top 20 when we played them. Somewhere around there. Between 15 and 20. Somewhere around there. So, who is Louisville play? Duke, maybe ranked. And Notre Dame, well, they won both of those games. Kentucky went 1-0 of it. But Georgia, Alabama, Missouri, and Tennessee are all better than Notre Dame, Duke, and honestly, the way South Carolina's playing the last few weeks, I think South Carolina's better than Pittsburgh. So once again, and most of those games Kentucky lost are all been close games. We lost by 3 to South Carolina. Everybody forgets Kentucky was actually up beginning of the fourth quarter on Missouri. That was a close game. Pretty much the whole game. Pretty tight. And other than the Georgia-Alabama game, where they blew us though. They blew us out. Everybody else, we played close. Tennessee, we played close. Missouri, we played close. What am I missing? Georgia, Alabama, both of those, I said. In South Carolina, we played close. Well, South Carolina should never been in that game. I really admit that. Truly admit that. So, I'm going off of all this that I said. Jeff Brown's first year at Louisville, he's done a really good job of getting Louisville, on the map this year. But I don't think this is the year Louisville ends the streak. I don't think this is the year Louisville ends the streak. I got Kentucky winning this game. And Kentucky don't put up points. I'm going 24-20, Kentucky. Once again, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Please, everybody, please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Share with your friends. Let's get this out there. And if you disagree with anything I've said, anything, there's a comment section right there. I have no problem. When I'm not driving, I'll go back and forth with you guys. I'll talk to you guys. We can talk about it. I mean, you just want to trash my team. Comment section's right there. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Well, see you tomorrow afternoon after the game, probably around 3 or 4. Thanks. Kentucky Decker Beer out. Peace.
I never liked Louisville, even while I was getting recruited. But, I just don't like the Cardinals. Their fans are, kind of snobbish. Their players are acting entitled. It's just, a lot of pent-up aggression towards them.
Yeah! Wow! Yeah! You're coming for you, Georgia! We're coming for you, Georgia!
Kentucky with one of the more improbable wins.
Meet us at Kroger Field!
Beats Missouri.
Meet us at Kroger